All right, guys, first off, as always, good day. Glad you guys are here. So, this video is actually very, very short compared to the other videos we've done. Um, this one's going to be talking about the end of the Articles of Confederation. We're going to talk mainly about the elephant in the room that nobody really wanted to talk about, but it was there and they had to address at least part of it. Okay, so here is your warm-up picture. Now, go ahead, analyze the picture. What do you see? Okay, look all around, look at what the person's saying, and um, just look at it. Now, question number one, again, what do you see? Pick the list. Question number two, based off what you've seen, what do you think is happening? What do you think is going on? All right. Okay, so look at it, analyze it, break it down. What do you see? What do you think is going on? Okay, so once you're done with that, get ready for the notes. All right. So here's the thing. Back when we were in the last video, we are talking about the beginnings of the um, Constitutional Convention, and the thing is, the Articles of Confederation sucked. So now they're starting a new form of government. Now the thing is, these guys agreed on several things. Everyone, right? Um, they favored the limitation of government and representatives. Now the thing is, the the Articles of Confederation basically had just one house, okay, for Congress and things like that. This thing, they're coming around, they're trying like, okay, well, you know what? Let's do something better. So they decided to break up the government into three branches. First, the legislative, then the executive, and judicial. Okay. Now, this was based off several plans. So, like the Virginia plan basically said number one, a strong national government, legislative with two chambers, all right? A strong national executive be chosen by the national legislative, and the national judicial should be supported by the legislative, okay? Now, the thing is, a lot of small states didn't like this plan because it gave a lot of power and say so for the big states. So, like, well, what about us? Yeah, what about the voice of our people? You know, just because the state's big and it has more people, things are gonna go their way. And what does that tell our people? Your voice is worthless. How come their voice isn't being heard? Just because our state is small and this state decided to be all big, how does that work out? You know, so there are some issues, mainly between small and big states. All right, so the thing was they came to an agreement. It became known as the Great Compromise. Basically, the legislative branch would be broken up into. So that one branch, that was one of three, that branch would then be split into two. One for the House of Representatives and the Senate. The Senate, no matter how big or small your state is, you get two senators. Okay, so California has the same amount of senators as Rhode Island, and Rhode Island is so much smaller than our state, if you don't know. Um, so that helped out the small states. The bigger states, they got the House of Representatives, which meant that based off your population, you got people your people got to pick a person to represent them in Congress. Okay, so that helps out the big states because bigger states, more representatives. California has the most representatives in our United States right now. Then it would be like Texas and Florida and then Ohio. Okay, based off population. You have to remember, like places like Alaska, Montana, those are big states, but nobody really lives there. So their representation is low. Even though the states are huge, it's based off population. Okay, now here's the problem though with this thing. The people who had slaves wanted the slaves to be counted as a person because then in the House of Representatives, they would have more say so, they would have more power. Now, the thing is, just because they're counted as people doesn't mean they get the same rights as people. And that's what the North said. That's what the point they're trying to they're trying to point out to the people in the South. He was like, wait, so you're saying you want them to be counted as people? Yeah, we want them to be counted as people. Well, here's the problem. Um, are they free? No. Well, why not? How come they're not free? Well, because they're our property. Oh, so they're your property. Property like a table, chair, things like that, right? Thing is, property, they don't have rights. They're not people. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say they're your property and they're people at the same time because people are born free. And people who are born free have freedom. They don't have freedom. And you just said it yourself, they're property. And this ticked off the southern states, and this came to a standstill. The issue of slavery is the elephant in the room, okay? It's the one thing that nobody wanted to talk about, but right now we came to that issue of slavery, and should these slaves count as people, as a whole? And it's kind of weird. You have to twist your thinking because the people who want the slaves to be counted as a person, okay? And the people who are against slavery didn't want the slaves to be counted as people. Okay, you kind of have to twist your mind, but you have to remember, if the slaves counted as people, as one whole person, the southern states, the ones who had the slavery, could make laws to keep slavery. Okay, that's what their whole goal was, to try to get more power so they can keep their slaves, so they can have power, and they can dictate how this country is going to be. So if an issue came up saying, hey, slavery is wrong, we should get rid of it, they would have the power in Congress, in the government, to say no, no, leave slavery alone. In fact, make it more. They would have that power. So the northern states are trying to fight them. Thing is, again, our country's in turmoil. There's bankruptcy. The money's being is basically useless by the states. People are upset with the government. Nothing is being done because there's a standstill in this government, and the government's trying to create a new form of government. So everything's going to hell in a handbasket, and they have to agree on something. They have to come to a compromise. Now, unlike nowadays, where it's like one group says no, and the other one says yes, and vice versa. Back then, they knew they had to compromise. They had to come to agreement, and that's the thing. That's what our country's about: compromise. You are not going to get everyone's not going to be wanting the same thing, obviously. Okay, but you have to negotiate and come to an agreement where nobody gets exactly what they want, but everyone's happy at some point. It's not going to be over here. It's not going to be like this. No, we're even. That's how our government's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be ran. But the thing is, some people, it's my way or the highway. My way or no way at all. Okay. So back then, they did come to an agreement. They negotiated, and they basically said that the slaves were 3/5 of a person, so 60%. So for every 5 slaves, they count as 3 people. Now, that might sound like, hey, the slaves people got what they wanted. Not necessarily, because there was 2 stipulations that were added. One of them, that the slave trade couldn't be banned until 1808. After 1808, it could be, okay, and that after 1808, there'd be there could be higher taxes imposed on it for bringing in slaves. So the states would be the government could be making money if they bring in more slaves. They could jack up the prices. So it'd be like if you paid for, I don't know, let's say something online, right? For let's say $100, and all of a sudden you click on it and it says, oh, there's a tax on for your government, and it's now from $100 to $500. You may not want that thing anymore, and that's what the government would try to do. You know, say, hey, you know what? It's not worth it. You're not going to be making that much money off of them, so that's the thing. So between this time and 1808, there was a small gap of time where the southern states knew, we have to bring in slaves. We have to bring them in. Forget going to Brazil, forget going to Cuba and the Dominican Republic. Come straight here. We will buy them. Okay, so this is the time when there's a huge influx of slaves coming into this country. All right, so here's an interesting little part. Neglect that first bullet point because it's repeated from the last one. The word slave doesn't appear in our Constitution. It doesn't. You can look it up. You can try to find it. You won't find it. Okay. Now here's the thing. This is something that I thought was very, very interesting because a runaway slave was basically property lost. Okay, and it was a crime in the South for a slave to run away. And in the Constitution, Article 4, Section 2, it states a person charged in any state with treason, felony, or other crime shall who shall flee from justice and be found in another state shall be demanded on the executive authority of the state from which he fled be delivered upon to be removed to the state having jurisdiction of the crime. So in other words, if let's say someone nowadays runs from California, they commit a crime, they run to Nevada. Okay, if they get caught in Nevada, they'll be brought back here to California. Okay, and they be charged with their crime. Now, let's say this person does crimes in California, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado. What would happen is, what they would do is find the state that has a biggest charge, the one that had their cases airtight, they're going to nail them. They would let that state more likely take them because if they don't want that person to go unpunished, so they're going to let that state take them, especially if there's a state has a death penalty. Yeah, you know, they'll let them do that. Okay. So in this case, a runaway slave would fall under this. And that's what the South would use, saying, hey, this person um, committed a crime, they ran away from their servitude, and now they're in another state, we want them back. The thing is, some northern states would say, oh, you forget, they're not people. You said they're property. So this property just so happened to have legs and just crossed into our area. We don't know where it's at. Sorry. And that would tick off southern states. Later on, we'll be getting to what they did to get their slaves back. And it was actually pretty interesting. Okay. So let me check really quickly, see if there's a question at the end of this. And there isn't. So that's the end of this lesson. So hopefully you learned something new. Um, Again, once you're uh, back in class, be sure you take these notes, turn them into the black basket near the door. All right, you guys should know where it's at by now. Um, and make sure your name's on it, the period, day, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. Okay, be sure you put that on there. And that's it. Okay, so hope you guys have a good day. Take care and have a good one.